canvassing, it's it's a really outmoded way of really generating leads. First of all, it's all about persuasion. It's all about physical. It's brute effort in generating, revenue, for example, right, through marketing. And nowadays, if you just think about it, when you look at the metrics, right, you just look at the pure metrics of it, less than 5% of the country's home improvement companies, remodeling companies that do canvassing can actually make that efficient and effective and profitable. Okay, their lead costs, their marketing costs are way up in the double-digit 20s or 30s, sometimes even 50s, and it's just them rationalizing something that because they're so used to it. Okay, right. So my thought on this is if I look at people nowadays, people have changed in terms of their buying behavior, in their intent, right? So, canvassing was a good methodology, for generating leads back in the day when, you were in towns where there were no malls and people had to go to you to sell their goods, right? Mm-hmm. Now, just think about it this way. When you need something, what do?
Go to Google immediately.
Immediately from your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? From your phone. And it's not like, let me go wait for somebody to knock on my door.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So, and then if you think about it, with the increasing amount of security systems that are being sold out there and the proliferation of it, Nest Systems, Amazon, Ring, because people are afraid, like, you're always concerned, hey, there's strangers in your neighborhood. So there's so many things on top of the fact that these are very inefficient campaigns. 1 out of 10 canvassers will succeed. There's an attrition rate of over 500%, sometimes up to, sometimes you get lucky and maybe you get 200%, so turning over the entire team twice, at the end of the year. There's so much waste to do what? To produce a 5% maybe return on that.
Yeah.
Literally, if you wanted bulk, you just think about digital marketing. You post an ad somewhere, you get millions of impressions right off the gate. You don't have to knock on one door. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's just, I always ask this question, do the majority of people want it? This is so simple. Think about the simple human truth now. Do people want it? Now, if the answer to that question is, well, do you want some stranger that doesn't announce when they're going to come? Mm-hmm. You don't know who they are. You've done no background check. And on top of that, they're going to knock on your door and start asking you for personal information. Right. And you have to open the door for them. Right. And stand there. If you want that, great. Let's do that. Let's be creative with that. But if I survey 100 people, just think about it. How many of them will actually say, oh, I would love to do that?
Yeah. Personally, like my wife and I run into that problem all the time. The orchid man coming around spraying for bugs.
Right. And you go next door, right? Neighbors have people are like, hey, there's a stranger in my neighborhood and they're lurking around. You see this stuff. So, the question might be, should you do it if people don't want it?
Waste. It comes down to waste right there. Throwing a lot of money down the well. You've got, not only the salaries you have to pay the canvassers, but also the cost of the trucks driving around and, the training that goes into it with the turnover, right?
I'll tell you something. Those are all things that people always forget, right? Like the recruitment costs, the training costs, the hiring, the firing, the turnover, the fact that it's an inefficient campaign, the fact that people don't want it, the fact that you get complaints, the fact that you have to pay for workers' comp and the cars and the food and the licenses per city, and then you have to renew that, and then the clothing and the welfare of and that's if you do everything right. Yeah. Here's the one thing that people almost always discount when it comes to canvassing: your reputation.
Oh yeah, true.
Your brand. Mm-hmm. Just think about it. I'm going to go and put my brand's reputation in the hands of a person that gets turned over all the time. So they're not bought in with my company. They're underpaid, 10 to 12 bucks an hour. It's not like they're loyal to the company. They probably just started. Okay. Right. They're probably not succeeding. They're going to be sweaty. They're going to be tired. They're going to be walking around. And this person is going to show up to a door sweaty, disgruntled, probably underpaid. I'll be tired. Right. And this person is going to represent my brand.
Yeah.
How much
from the get-go, first impressions do matter, right?
Yeah. And so you think about this, like people like, oh, the generated lead. You know how many bad reviews and just the damage you've done sending this person around? It's not this person's fault. It's your fault as an owner. It's your fault as a company. You're tarnishing your brand. And I got to tell you, the companies that I've worked with that have canvassing, that's one of the first things they try to help, like come to me and say, how would you solve this? I'll tell you how I'll solve it. I'll shut down this program and put the resources somewhere else.
Right. Yeah.